Hello and welcome everyone to a Sacred Symbols reading. I'm your host, Desiree DeMars, and I believe today is the day after Thanksgiving in the U.S., so it is the 24th, and I believe it's a Friday. I just wanted to make note that the underlying intention or foundation of this reading is for the upcoming full moon on Monday, which is in Gemini. And I'd like to just read a little in preparation for that because it might help you, it might help something come to surface in regards to your intention, to what you've been feeling and what you might have been feeling energetically or planetarily. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, the element of air and communication. Gemini energy moves pretty quickly and it affects our nervous system, our minds, and our vibrations, even the vibrations within us. And it can open our minds, bring us new perspectives, and help us rewrite old stories. I love this because I just sent out a news post announcing, or just reminding people about the sale that I'm having for the holidays on my readings. And so you can go to my website, DesireeDemars.com, and check out the details. They make great gifts. And then also, what I wanted to note too, that is, if we're willing to flow with this energy about communication and the mind, the positive side is that it can help us shift perspectives in the way we see things. Of course, on the shadow side, we might recognize old patterns coming up, old belief systems that are outdated. And, this has been coming up a lot lately, but it's being really amplified by this energy coming into the full moon in Gemini. So if you feel like that part of yourself, think of the twins even, woulda, coulda, shoulda, one side says yes, one side says no. It definitely, the reflection helps us see this aspect of polarity that's at play. And, but, rather than live by an old story, we have the power to create new stories all the time. Creating stories help us feel comfortable, helps things feel predictable, and then we feel a little bit more in control. And then the truth is, of course, there are all kinds of other influences that we may not even be aware of, and that are happening around us, to us, and through us all the time. So that's basically all I wanted to say. I just thought it was interesting when I looked up. I like to, just do a little review of somebody's astrological take on it. Pam Gregory, of course, I always mention that she's fantastic for looking at influences. And then also, I had in my news post, I had included a quote from a man named Robert Thies. And the quote was a channeling brought through him by the Archangel Michael, who he's been channeling, I think, since like 1995. So a long time. It's a very integrative part of himself and his work that he shares, is that part of his soul, that he has integrated with Michael and his oversoul. So if you want to know more about that, I put the link in my news post too. So for now, let's just shift gears from the mental interpretations of what's coming up and just sinking into that sense of the energy of this full moon coming up in Gemini, the energy of Gemini within you and outside of you, these influences outside of us that are being, reflected upon by this new moon energy. And as you settle in and settle down into your body, just imagine a brilliant white light coming down from the heavens and anchoring you all the way down to the center of the earth. And just continue to do that. In fact, taking a couple of deeper breaths in through the nose, holding just for a couple of seconds, and then exhaling through your mouth slowly. Just activating that vagal nerve, feeling it assist us in coherence, creating coherence between the heart and the mind, or the heart and the brain. Just feel that sense of alignment coming into focus for you as you ground and sink even deeper. And then as you realize or resonate with the core of the earth, feel that iron molten core, that brilliant red energy, red orange lava, right down into the soul of Gaia. Feel that energy as it flows back up, because everything is moving in a toroidal field. We're feeling it flow upward and outward then and down again, just like a fountain that is infinite and eternal. So feel that infinite energy within you and expanding outside of you. And as it does so through that central channel, you feel an activation of your own chakras: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and white. Right, you feel the emotions of joy, peace, and strength, courage at the heart, gratitude, humility, and divine love. Right, the sense of divine love that flows out and simultaneously allows for, ooh, I get chills, this divine love to flow inward, right? Because we know also, if you study anything like Tai Chi or energy flow in different practices, you know it's also simultaneous and it's holographic, right? Everything is a holo movement. So it's not only moving in one direction, it's moving in the other. And these fields are flowing simultaneously. So feel yourself. This is the very basis of knowing that we are multi-dimensional beings. Right? We're not doings, we're beings. Doesn't matter what we do and have, it's who are we being, and then that gets reflected outward in our world. So with that said, just feel that activation so that all the chakras are open, fully functioning, front and back, balanced and aligned. And then sensing the ability from your heart, allowing your heart space to be open in coherence with the head, the brain, the super conscious of the mind, and allow an inquiry, a question to come up that you'd like to focus on for this reading dedicated to this full moon in Gemini coming up on Monday. I believe that is the 27th of November, 2023. So then just allowing a co-creation of sacred space here, calling in all of the directions, the east, the south, the west, the north, above, below, and the middle. Come and be with us. Come and be with us as we sit in gratitude and appreciation for these gifts that come through these sacred symbols here today. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. All of the elementals: earth, air, fire, water, ether, plasma, neutrinos, gammas, and all those elements yet unknown to man. Come and be with us. Sit in this sacred circle, our hearts open with appreciation for what is already coming through. You might feel it energetically, you might just have sensations, but no, all of the senses are awakening. And feel the pineal gland opening and expanding, or opening up its circuitry so that it can feel yourself in a space of allowance, right? You acknowledge what you feel, you are aware of that, you allow the sense so that you can be receptive. Come and be with us. Come and be with us, all of our guides, angels, and teachers. Call in whoever is here for you or you wish to have in your presence during this sacred ceremony. For this reading today, come and be with us, all of our ancestors, those who've gone before us, lived a good life and transcended and are now here working on our behalf. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. All of those whose names we do not know, but whose blood runs through our veins. Come and be with us. Come and be with us. Allow the grace, the ease, the beauty, the wisdom to not only flow into our lives, but to flow outward, influencing, affecting, reflecting outward to all those we come in contact with, all forms of life. In full faith, so be it. Aho. I'm going to ask you to blow 3 times into the basket with me. Using your intention, knowing we're co-creating whatever is the most perfect piece of wisdom for us to receive today. And let's just dive right into the center of the reading. We've got the inquiry here, this piece of coral, really opening up to our soul's path, right? Our soul, our oversoul, and that essence of being a creator, creativity, this divine and sacred trinity. We've got DNA. We've got, this is fascinating, we've got, this would be closest to you if you were sitting here having a one-on-one reading, but here's your star nations, Saturn, these influence of old structures, finding a new way or ways to be, to see, feel, and do from this place of the sacred, right? So old structures. And here we are, you are, interestingly enough, facing down. It's a very internal process, I feel right now, which makes sense, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, because we are going into winter, which is very internal, but we've got downloads coming in, probably you might be feeling it at the crown, into your third eye. And this is Plutonian. So yeah, this Plutonian, you know, we are in the process of a Pluto return. So, you know, focus on if what you're feeling is frustration, stuckness, a little stagnation, try shifting your thoughts into what you wish, you know, your wishes, what you want to see come forth, because here we have transfiguration is happening on a huge scale. Well, this is interesting too. I have never seen the timekeepers so close together. That's fascinating. They are right next to each other and both facing down. So it's something about kind of like a pause right now, just taking a breath, attuning to the collective on this earth plane. This is really being animated right now, expanded right now. We have Jupiter sitting right on our blueprint. You might be feeling very emotional right now, but you know, just trust the eye of God. It's wide open, and that eye is within, it's inside of you. This piece here, it's hard to see. I'll have to move the eye here, but this little dagger is, you know, use your emotions to cut through, right? To cut through whatever feels foggy, you know, use that sword of truth, that internal knowing, and trust this eye of God, this eye at the center, right? Because, we also have the moon here, which is influencing this kind of emotional, right? This full moon, this activation, this energy. And it might feel a little crazy because things are starting to really pick up energetically. And then we've got the key here, which is interesting. That just jumped out at me. So here I look for the lock and I see it's near your father, a partner, somebody else in your life, father, young one on your father's side, a paternal young, probably a child. And there may be something going on physically, but we know the sun is really here amplifying this too, really igniting this energy. We know we're going through the photon belt and having incredible photonic light shifts happening to us. And again, we've got another, this is interesting, another 3 here. Well, we've got a 6 and a 3. So the 3 is representative of, again, that creative life force. The 6 I like to think of as alignment. And it's fascinating because here it is in alignment with your vision. So something about your home, making a wish about home, maybe even just the home within. Trust your heart, the divine feminine. Work is in focus right now, especially with in your maternal lineage. Look at the great ones on your mother's side, young adults and children, all on your mother's side, these maternal, and then in fact, here's your mother. The mother is touching the shaman just about, and then we've got grandfather on your father's side, sword of truth. And we have Buddha, but this Buddha also represents that focus, that panther, right? That focus that cats have, right? Incredible eyesight. So the key, which is wide open, it's wonderful, but it's all about that which is not yet created. So speak your truth, really catch a star, right? Really tap into your wishes, hopes, and dreams, your vision for 2024. Make a huge wish, go big. The collective is behind you. We're all feeling this. How can we change the world together through our intentions, our thoughts, our beliefs, and new ways, new structures, new ways of being where everybody wins? Nobody, no more polarity, right? Stop this polarity and the haves and the have-nots. So align that with this greater vision that you have for your own life, knowing that this solar energy is really helping us flow forward and assisting us in this transfiguration that we're all going through. It may even in part be feeling like, soul retrieval. You may be feeling just naturally these soul parts are coming back to you, pieces of yourself that's split off, dissociated, right? And I mentioned father here, but there's also grandfather on your mother's side, your maternal grandfather, and the great ones. I mean, grandmother, I'm sorry, the red is the feminine, the maternal. So maternal grandfather, your maternal grandfather, and then the great ones on your father's side. Did I say that right? Yes, your maternal grandmother. And then your great ones on the father side, the greats, the great, great, greats. And then just diving back into the center point, I did mention Jupiter. So things are feeling really amplified, sped up. And so you might feel agitated, just slow down, take a breath. But I think it's worth noting we've got the ancient ones in the center here with the great mystery. And then this is the ancient ones on the paternal lineage or paternal ancient ones, really supporting you in not only I mentioned crown chakra being open for downloads, but the third eye really being activated right now. And so here we have Buddha. It's kind of like we're all coming into an enlightenment of some sort, which is, I think what's important is to remember about enlightenment is it's not like we get enlightened and float off into the universe. It's like more like chop wood, carry water. Okay, after the after the enlightenment, how do we allow ourselves to integrate that part of ourselves into the wholeness of who we are. Wow. So that was an incredible reading. And I hope that it was just like a little nugget, a nugget that came through. And then I'm going to rattle. I'm just going to leave the screen as is so you can have the image a little bit longer. And then I'm going to rattle to close the circle now. Again, with gratitude and appreciation. Aho. So full screen, and I just would like to say, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, whatever that means to you. At the very least, that it was just a time to reflect on what you are grateful for in your life. And then just know in this next month that we're preparing for the new year, 2024. So start imagining, start allowing yourself to go into this place of awe, wisdom, right? Delight, that childlike, innocent part of yourself. Let the vision come from that. So with that said, I thank you all for joining me. Check out my news post about my holiday special on readings that will run through the end of the year. They make great gifts and can be life-changing for some people because, of course, what's included is the energy also of the bones, of the sacred symbols. And so there are influences there that are beyond the physical, beyond the mental interpretations. Okay. Aho.